Hi. You ready? Okay. Let's start with the runes. And then animal spirit, and then tarot. I'll work with the after tarot. I'll show you them when it's time. Runes for Aries, please. What is up with Aries seekers? Weird, the empty rune. And Uruz, the wild ox, which we've been getting a lot in some of the readings repeatedly. Okay. You feel spurred into action and by a force that you can't explain. You don't know why you're doing what you're doing. You don't know why you feel the urge to do what you're doing, to go where you're going, to say what you're saying, to decide what you're deciding, and so on and so forth. It comes from a very deep place of your existence, the kind of place that is in tune with the cosmos, the cosmic Buddha, the empty space. It's a kind of space, place that you're attached to with an umbilical cord because that's how we are as humans. You cannot detach yourself from it. You're not supposed to. Very dangerous. This potentially could stir you into realms of hell. You do not want to detach yourself from the umbilical cord of light and source. So that place that we are all connected to, but oh so often not in tuned with consciously, certainly not necessarily understand logically, is has taken control, and it's guiding your situation, and it's inspiring you to do certain things that you don't understand why you're doing them, but it feels right. This is always in the upright. It feels right. It feels good. It feels, but you just can't explain it. People are like, "Why are you doing that? You never do that." And you're like, "It just feels right," or "It's just what I need to do." It's it's what I need to do. That's what I'm picking up from this. Let's see what the animal spirit want to add. Rabbit. Earth. One more. I think you might be putting someone or some people um, in shock. Like it's surprising to them or bewildering to them. Like they don't understand what you're doing. It's not something they would expect from you, or crocodile. Oh, this completely changes. Now you're the rabbit standing up to this crocodile. You are definitely not the crocodile in this story. That is, yeah, that's the kind of thing that someone from the outside would be like, oh my God, this rabbit is crazy. Not running away, not just standing up, not bowing, not hiding, just standing up to the crocodile and being like, no. And who knows where you're getting the courage to do that? The cosmos, your life force, right? It's the wild ox, your life force, your chi, your will. And seemingly you have no power in relation to this crocodile. And yet you do. Because behind you and within you is the infinity of the cosmos that you're guided by. You're doing something very brave, some might say crazy, and that's where they're also acting like rabbits, like others are acting like rabbits, but in a way of like that you're shocking them. Okay. All right, let's move to the tarot. Lovely, Aries. I mean, it's not surprising to have you be brave. You're Aries. You're like literally the sign of bravery. It's not that you're fearless. There's no such thing as being fearless, but bravery is created where fear is. If there's no fear, there's no need of bravery. And something here scares you, really scares you. And you're like, nope, worth the risk to standing up to it, to um, saying no to it, whatever the case. And you're willing to pay a price of some sort. Okay, now we're continuing with the after tarot. Oh, bottom of the deck, judgment. Maybe you're calling something out. Maybe you're speaking up, right? Saying something vocal in front of others in a way that reverberates, that echoes. And you feel really guided by some force of inspiration. You're like, someone's got to do it. It may as well be me. I've been placed in this position. And I guess that's what I got to do. Show me more about this for Aries, please. I'll pull more runes in the sequel as well, which will be available for separate purchase on Patreon or as part of unlimited streaming of all the other sequels over in channel membership, tier shifter, and above. So both options will be available for you in the description box and in the end screen once the video is done. Come on, cards, Spirit, Aries. What is this about? Tell us more about this story. I don't know why I'm hearing Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe some of you really love that game or story, or it has something to do with it somehow. Okay. The Sun, Three of Swords, and Ace of Swords. Gorgeous. And in the after tarot, we're seeing the moment after. So here, in this Three of Swords, the swords are out of the heart, and the heart is starting to heal and going through a recovery. Thanks to the sun that came and illuminated something. So this could be recent past or right now, or just around the corner where the sun illuminates something for you. Daylight, truth. This could be an outside information that comes and illuminates something. This could be an inner eureka or realization of some sort that creates an emotional understanding of how to heal from something or how to heal someone else's thing, depending on your circumstance. And then comes with that and from that a really clear, clean new beginning. And this, especially with the sun, this could be a very illuminating communication that you're delivering or have delivered to you. So you might be communicating this to someone, or someone is communicating something to you. And now I'm getting that these three swords were, because this sword is the sword of truth, right? The Ace of Swords. And I think these three swords were dropped from being in your heart due to an illumination of some sort, a truth of some sort. So I'm getting that these swords that are dropped from your heart are swords of lies. So maybe some sort of manipulation or deceit or lies or things that you thought or things that you were told that were hurtful to you or bruising to you, but now you realize either it wasn't true, or it's not how you thought it was. So the effect, the hurtful effect, is uh, elevated or alleviated. Is that the word? Relieved. And you get to move with more clarity, but also now more cautionary because you were trusting. The reason you were able to, you were trusting, and now you're like more covered. You're like, I'm going to be more, less trusting and more selective. Some of you are healing from a diagnosis of some sort that you had, physical, and you found out, you discovered, and then you were going through some sort of treatment and it's working. The treatment is going well, so it's clearing out whatever it was. More, please. Could have been literally something with your heart that you were going through treatment for. Some of you, even a surgery. King of Swords. You either have some really good friend or advisor or a professional of some sort. If the case was medical, then this could have been a medical professional that, or whoever this King of Swords is, that really gave you sound advice and gave you a lot of clarity. But now I'm picking up that it's also you with this hawk, um, knowing what to do with your sword now and keeping it around. Keeping it around and paying more attention, more than you used to. Because you recognize that something was able to, this crocodile was able to do something because you weren't paying attention. And you're like, from here on, I'm going to pay more attention. So I'm not easily anything. I'm going to listen carefully and attentively. And there is some sort of diplomatic communication of trying to bridge a gap. Could be with someone that you had a fallout with. Wow. Hierophant and Ten of Pentacles. That's beautiful. So there's some sort of very serious commitment coming through here with, it's going to be very detailed, very clear, the terms and the conditions, the longevity, or the fact that it's going to be for the long term, what it is that you're going to establish with this person. For some of you, it's a professional commitment. For some of you, it's quite literally a marriage of some sort, uh, or just marriage. I am picking that someone is is taking custody of a child or little children. Maybe it's like family members that need you to take care of them for whatever reason. Maybe their parents are um, not functioning for whatever reason, or not present, or can't really um, care for them properly at this time for whatever reason. So you're taking them in. And this could be the news that you were getting. And there's some sort of tradition here with the Hierophant and Ten of Pentacles um, that you might be joining. A heritage, and getting keys to something. Seven of Wands. Something that people are competing over, that you're going to have resistance to. It's like people are going to be like, wait, why Aries? That doesn't make any sense. Or the Aries is not ready, or Aries shouldn't, or um, High Priestess. There are going to be some behind the scenes undercurrents and sabotage. High Priestess and the Tower. So now I'm getting that there are some people or some forces within a community or within a commitment of some sort that you realize are creating some sort of a mess, and it's all coming out to the surface. If it's been behind the scenes, if it's been like passive aggressive undercurrents, like whispers. um I see. I mean, we saw you standing up to something, right, with the rabbit. I think you might be exposing something. I think you might be finding something out that is very insidious or just really inappropriate, or just, you know, no bueno. And you're kind of breaking that house of cards of, I'm hearing house of lies. This has been a recurring theme. You know, it's supported astrologically. It's something the collective is dealing with. So it's going to play out to the different signs in similar ways, but in different semantics. But I can tell the common thread in every grouping, in every like cycle of 13 signs that I do. Um, and this has definitely been a theme of exposure of corruption, and have it break down. Um, and someone had justice done by a whistleblower, and I think maybe you're that whistleblower that I saw in a different reading. I don't remember which sign it was. Maybe it was Scorpio. I'm not sure. It's not that important, but it's like I'm picking up on like different roles to similar narratives. The High Priestess and the Hierophant, they both represent wisdom, spiritual wisdom, but they but the Hierophant is more the structure, the religion, the um, construct of having a mitigator or messenger between the people and the god or their god. Um, and it's structured, and there's a mechanism, and there's a matrix, and there are rules and regulations that are also important. But then there's the high priestess, which is more the esoterica, right? So there's the exoteric of the faith, and then there's the esoteric. So the Hierophant would be the exoteric, the ceremonies, the script, the writings, the roles of each person, and the high priestess would be the wisdom and be the in between the lines of the scripture, not just what is evident and on the surface. that often is used to deflect the insincere away, um, or keep them in a loop of thinking they know what's up and with that faith, but not really. Um, so the Hierophant would be the lines. I said lies, and earlier I said house of lies, which is interesting because it came out with the Ten of Pentacles, which is a very positive card, very abundant, very collaborative, very positive. But I think the High Priestess with the Tower, it's coming through like as an Heiress, not Aries, Heiress. She's the sister of, she's the feminine version of the God of War, but she's more retaliatory to injustice, right? So it's there's the story. So the story of her is that she wasn't invited to the party by the gods of the gods on the Olympus, and so she crashed the party, and she brought an apple and she placed it in the middle of the table of the feast, right, of the gods and the goddesses, and said, "I brought you a gift. I brought you an apple." That is meant for the fairest of them, for the fairest goddess of them all, like the prettiest one. So all the goddesses at the table were like, the vanity competition. They're like certain that each of them is certain that the apple is for her, and then they start quarreling over the apple. And party obviously ruined, and also their true faces come out. And so one might say, oh, she ruined the party because she's bitter because she wasn't invited. Okay. Another might say, she wasn't invited due to their corruption that she was able to shed light on. And instead of being welcomed in and invited, and then that wouldn't be corrupt, and then there was nothing to shed light on, they created this, what's the word? Ostracizing, right? And shaming to her. And so what she did was brilliant because it exposed she didn't even do anything. It had them expose themselves. Now, if these goddesses were not vain and corrupt in spirit, they would not be fighting over who the apple is for. They would not be obsessing who's the fairest of them, right? Meaning there would be nothing to expose, and there would be no drama, and the party would not be ruined, showcasing that. Okay, you can say that Eris was a messenger of chaos, or you can say she's a messenger of truth and light and exposure. And I guess that depends on perspective. I mean, that depends if you have the right or the wrong perspective. um, and I love that this is so poetic. She came right underneath the King of Swords. Now, this is like also the Temple of Solomon, right? Um, the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. And King of Swords is often associated with King Solomon because of his wisdom. King of Swords is considered a very wise judge, possibly symbolizes Libra, right? It's cardinal masculine. Libra is cardinal air. So the king of Swords is Libra, not the Queen of Swords. Queens, feminines are fixed energies. So the Queen of Swords is Aquarius. Again, this is according to traditional tarot before the Golden Dawn kind of changed things around about a century ago. So King of Swords is also Libra, which is balance, truth, justice, and also represents King Solomon, the king of the kingdom of Israel at the time, during the time of a temple, if I'm not mistaken. And these two bring forth the archetype of justice in the temple, true justice. Well, just a lot came through. Um, that I'm trying to process. Okay. Show me more, a little more about this before I move to the sequel. And over there, I will definitely do more clarifying of the situation, the individual or individuals, sorry, what else we can see farther, hopefully, if spirit allows, and pull more runes. Knight of Wands. This is always here. There's I don't know if specifically travel, but definitely physical movement of some sort. So yeah, it can involve travel, but from this fallen house of lies, um, someone hops, right? So there's I'm seeing like an exodus of some sort, um, especially given the connotation of the Sphinx here and the pyramids, right? Which is ancient Egypt. It's like there's a house of lies and then there's an exodus. What a mess. Okay. I'm going to continue this. I'll see you there if you're into that. If not, I love you anyway. Stay magic, stay true, stay free. Subscribe if you're new, and bye for now. I love you.